Well, it's another Monday, so it's time for another Monday Market Moment. This is Bryan Devore, Devore Realty Group, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties. This week, we're going to address the fact that history is not repeating itself. So we'll talk about that in just a couple of moments. Let's jump right into the latest statistics. Right now, we have 2,846 homes for sale in San Diego County, increase of 75 from last week. Inventory is on the rise. Median list price of those homes, $1.1 million, no change. 3 weeks in a row, the median of all the inventory is 1.1 million. One fewer day of the average days on market down to 46. Meanwhile, pending sales, 2117 down 51. So inventory up 75, pending sales down 51 from last week, cooling market a little bit. Median list price, 828.8, which is down from last week. Average days on market, no change, 23 days. Months of inventory, 1.42. That is an increase, and it's going up by, I don't know, I don't want to say a lot, but from 1.33 to 1.42 in just 1 week. Um, Possibly because inventory going up, possibly because sales are down. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Here's the chart that shows actives and pendings. You can see inventory on the rise, highest point it's been in quite a while. Pendings over the last few weeks is continuing to trend downwards. Since last week, new actives 660. So 76 new listings came on the market, or rather 76 more homes came on the market last week than the week before, over 10% more. Median list price 929, 450, up over last week's. New pendings 335, a dip of 30 from last week. So 10% fewer homes went pending last week than the week before. Median list price 829.9, down from the week before. Average days on market 17 days, so 2 fewer days. So even though we're seeing fewer homes going into escrow, they're also selling faster. New pendings listed within the last week 20, so 6% of homes that were listed sold within a week. New pendings listed within the last 2 weeks, 150. So 45% of homes are selling in 2 weeks or less. Last week, we saw 337 closed sales, huge drop of 103 from last week. Median list price, 899.9, which is higher than it was the week before. Median sales price, 925, also higher. So way fewer sales, but prices going up. Fewer sales didn't translate into lower prices. A lot higher prices. Average days on market 20, one more day than the week before. The least expensive sale was in Warner Springs, 212,500, and for the first time in a while, most expensive sale, excuse me, was in Carlsbad, $10,700,000. So here's a chart that shows new actives, new pendings, and new closed sales. And you can see we have had some weeks, excuse me, in the last couple months where we had more new listings coming on the market, but it's a big jump over the last couple weeks. Meanwhile, we haven't seen this few of homes going into escrow since the beginning of July. And that was probably because of the 4th of July. Fewer sales as well. But prices are still holding strong. Median list price and median sales price chart, those are both up over the last few weeks. All right, so the Stephen Thomas reports on housing just came out. This shows active listings over the last few years. You can see we have the fewest number of homes for sale actually since 2012. The typical peak is in that mid-July to mid-August range. And you can see how history is not repeating itself. That was what we talked about in the beginning. You can see that inventory dipped and then in going into August, but then it's actually gone up. This hasn't happened well, it happened in 2020, but that's a weird year because of the pandemic. But you can see leading up to that 2019 to 2019, 20, and then 2021, 2022, usually inventory is starting to dip. It's actually on the rise. Meanwhile, demand, homes going into escrow in the last 30 days, is dipping. Certainly different than last year, dipping more as a trend over the last few weeks than the year before that. Although in 2019, we saw a steeper decline in the number of homes going into escrow than we are now. And I think that's probably because inventory is so low. We're still seeing some demand, but you can see demand is still much lower than it has been over the last few years. Sold report. This isn't the full report. If you'd like to get the report, I'm happy to send it to you with all the different cities. But I wanted to point out in just these few cities here, as far as number of units sold versus last year. Alpine actually had more sales than last year, but across the board, most of the areas had fewer sales. Carlsbad up a little bit, but Chula Vista down, City Heights down. But look at the median days on market, and you can see 6, 12, 6, 19. So homes are still selling fast simply because there's just not enough inventory for the small amount of demand that's out there. Lastly, Southern California markets, you can see where San Diego ranks versus the other counties. Ventura is always the lowest because there's the fewest homes available to sell. But comparatively, we have only more than Orange County, lower than everywhere else. Demand is still, pretty strong relative to the other counties. We had been leading up until now, but other counties are starting to catch up. But market time, we are still the fastest selling market in Southern California, leaving Ventura out, only 45 days versus the other counties. So next week, we're going to talk about the disappearance of the entry-level market, some interesting stats that I recently saw that I'll share next week. Meanwhile, don't forget to track your home value by scanning that QR code. If you have any questions or want that full Stephen Thomas report on housing report, including your city, feel free to give me a call, send me an email. I'm happy to help any way I can. Have a great day. Look forward to seeing you next Monday, which is Labor Day. Have a great day.
You've been watching Monday Market Moment with Bryan Devore. Please subscribe to our channel so you never miss an update.